We want to welcome you back to the very last, the season finale, Free Time Racing Monday nights. We're bringing the complete graphics truck series back to you one last time, and we're going to do it one more time here at Chicagoland. John Ross in the booth. As always, right beside of me, Russ. Russ, how are you doing tonight? Number one, two, are you ready for a fantastic finale to this season?
Man, glad to have you back here. We missed you last week, but we had a heck of a race last week, and we're definitely looking forward to getting this championship race underway. We got 6 drivers here tonight, been battling all year long, and only one of them is going to reign supreme after tonight. So it'll be fun to see who's going to take home that championship tonight, John.
Yeah, and as we look at it, we certainly have quite a few drivers that are going to be in the chase. It's going to be 6 drivers total. So we're going to go through those drivers tonight. One of those drivers is going to be Joseph Phelps, Tim Johns, Josh Lambert, Rick Modrich, Chris Melton, and Jacob. And all 6 of those drivers have a chance to win. The only thing that they have to do is finish in front of every one of those other 5 drivers, and they will be crowned the champion tonight, man. I am so excited for this one. It is going to be fantastic. But we're at Chicagoland. We got some racing to do. We've got 45% fuel. We got 2 sets of tires on these trucks. What can we look for tonight at Chicagoland in these trucks?
I mean, Chicagoland is one of those tracks, kind of like Kentucky, where it could kind of wreak havoc on those tires. So I think we're going to see a lot of tire saving going on here tonight. Like you said, only 2 sets over the wall. We got 100 laps here, so going to be interesting to see how these guys are going to handle pit strategy. I've said this time and time again all season long. With this league, the way that it's set up with the 2 tires and the fuel, I mean, it definitely puts a strategy call into play almost each and every week, and it's going to be no different here tonight.
Yeah, it is true. We've already got Robert out there in chat saying it's finale time, and I got to tell you, no better way to bring the finale of this season, Russ, than the lights in Chicagoland. And there's just nothing quite like a truck race at night. I mean, the lights coming down, 1.5-mile track. Draft is going to play a major part in this. But I'll tell you what else there is. Chicagoland has really developed to be maybe a 2, even 3-lane track if these drivers can keep that right front on these trucks. So we're going to see a couple of different lines, a little bit of different strategy as we go through the pit stops, things like that. How can they handle the draft? Ms. Rosala out there saying, good luck, boys. So we have got some people out there in chat rooting on their favorite drivers, watching this stream. And we are going to take 18 trucks to this start-finish line. It looks like 18, maybe a few more. Let's look. We do have maybe 21 trucks out here tonight, Russ, that's all going to be fighting for at least a win, if not a win, for a championship tonight.
It's a great showing here tonight. You and I were talking just a little bit ago, and usually, a lot of times with these leagues, you get down to the last couple of races, and the attendance really starts to fall off, and it's really good to see 20 plus drivers here tonight for the season finale, and it's only going to make it more interesting.
No, that is a really good point. But and let's look at some of these drivers. Josh Lambert is right now sitting on the pole in qualifying. He has been your most dominant driver, I would say, throughout this season. Multiple wins, has more wins than any other truck driver out here. Highest I rating, really fantastic, dominant performances. But you do have Jacob. He's right there on that outside pole. He is going to be vying for this. And if I know something about Jacob, he can play some strategy. Chris Melton has shown himself to be a great long run driver on worn tires. So I'm very interested to see what he is going to have there. You got Modrich right there. He is going to be in 6th position. Johns is in 8th. So, I mean, everybody that's fighting for this win. Where is Phelps at? Let's see if we can find Phelps on here. He's going to be 11th. So, everybody in the top 11 vying for this championship.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be a fight, all night long for 100 laps. I mean, you really you can't count anybody out. Like you said, Jacob, he had a really good run last week. Able to squeak his way into this top six. And it's like I said a couple times last week, I really like this two race format where it's kind of like two championship races in one. It's like last week we had the 12 drivers in the top six of those 12 drivers transferred here tonight to battle for this championship, and now we got all six of these drivers starting inside the top 15. So definitely anybody's race. This is the one that counts. This is where it all matters, and I say we start getting ready to get this thing underway.
Yeah, so here we go. Let's look at your starting lineup. Lambert is going to be right there on the pole position with a 30.167. Bryant is right there on that outside. That is not Jacob, that is Bryant. In second, we've got Jeff in third. Chris is going to be in fourth. Fowler right there in fifth. Nice qualifying position there for Fowler. He is your primary sponsor here with Complete Graphics. You got Michael in sixth, Jacob in seventh. That is your second place, or the one vying for the championship alongside of Josh Lambert. We've got Rick. He is in the mix as well, right there in eighth. Ridgway in ninth, and then Tim also vying for the championship. He is right there in 10th.
Yeah, then John Gardner is going to start there in P11. Charlie Stutzman in 12th. Joseph Phelps, the last guy here trying to win this championship. He's going to roll off in 13th. Robert Chappell in 14th. Jason Wade in 15th. Landon Huff, 16th. Alexander Morals, 17th. Ryan Lang's going to start 18th. Juan Velez in 19th. Randy Coyer in 20th. And then Shannon Ogle is going to round this field out of 21 drivers.
Well, there you go. So there are 21 drivers that are going to be vying for a win tonight. And some of these drivers, now, don't let this fool you, folks. I mean, some of these drivers are going to be fighting for a win. They have nothing to lose. They're going to want to pick up a win this season. This is their opportunity to do it. You've got Lambert that is right there. He is going to take your pole and your starting position tonight here at Chicagoland in these trucks. But we have a long race, 100 laps, and we're going to find out who is going to be crowned a champion here at Free Time Racing tonight.
Yeah, I mean, Lambert starting on the pole. He's going to have the biggest target on his back here tonight. I mean, these are the types of tracks where we see him, dominate almost every time. So, there's a lot of guys out here really good at these mile and a halves, and now's the time to show up and show out.
Yeah, we're going to check in on our chat, and it looks like John Fowler out there in the chat with Complete Motorsports saying, okay, let's go have some fun. Alexander is saying, let's go, Alex. And then we've got Zach out there in the chat rooting on John Fowler there, one of our adrenaline racing buddies. He is going to start right there in fifth, and he is going to be in that black and blue Columbia truck. But as we can see right now, that green flag is in the air. Here we go, racing here, Russ, to crown a champion tonight here at Chicagoland.
Yeah, Lambert's got a really good start there. Going to take this lead going down into turn one.
Lambert is going to get that lead. That lower line is going to be dominant early on, the 81. He is right below the 458 now, so it looks like the 458 is trying to hang on to second position. They're going to go 2 by 2 down into 3. We've got trucks everywhere as we look back further on in this field. We are 2-3 wide now.
Almost 4 wide here coming into turn one. It looks like John Fowler up in the outside in that 54. Almost thought about taking it 4 wide. Thought better of it. I was going to fall back in line.
Yeah, he's got a lot of good turn in that truck. He used a lot of will to cross that 81 truck over, and now is going to dive underneath of the 48. So Fowler certainly being aggressive early on, and now we look back here as we are touching doors. We are tire to tire, the 32, the 33. Who is that there on the outside? Still 3 wide through the triangle.
To these guys right now, I got my my screen set to focus on crashes. It is locked onto these guys because that's the closest battle on the track, even though now looks like they finally sorted out this 3 wide.
Man, it looks like we've got some trucks trying to drag that right rear against the outside retaining wall. But right now, a battle for your lead, and it looks like Lambert is getting pressured now by the 458 as the 48 of Jacob is going to dive underneath the Fowler and try to take over this 4th position.
Well, thing that Jacob definitely wants right now is to be able to keep that 90 right in his sights, because he knows that that's going to be the guy he's going to have to chase down and beat here tonight for the most part. So Jacob doing a really great job looking down there on the bottom, trying to work his way forward underneath the 54, John Fowler.
Yeah, and if you're somebody like Melton and you're somebody like Jacob, you really don't have anything to lose here. Is now the 458 of Bryant is going to take that lead away from the 90. But Zach out there in the chat saying just a little nugget about Chicagoland. He said really difficult on that right rear, not your typical right front burner. So look for these trucks to start to get loose a little bit later. And I will tell you, a line that is going to do that's going to be that outside line where Fowler now is making a lot of speed early on in this race. But man, once that right rear gets loose, he is going to have his hands full.
Yeah, I mean, that's one thing I remember about Chicagoland is, you know, that middle to upper lane is a viable option. But like we said, not for long, we see Fowler dicing there right through the middle of Lambert. And I believe that's the 70 of Melton there on the outside trying to get back down to the bottom. And I was just going to fall in line behind Lambert. But yeah, that middle and upper line, definitely a viable option if you could do it quick.
Yeah, you can tell Melton does not want to spend a lot of time on that top line, kind of slows himself down. He knows that he wants to save tires. So that is just a driver there, Russ, that found himself on the outside, was getting kind of freight trained at the bottom, and decided to go down and allow those trucks to pass him to try to save some right front tire. Is now your top three, again, underneath of a blanket. That's the 458 of Bryant out front. Lambert right there, but Fowler on the move. He is in third, along with Jacob right there in fourth.
Yeah, Jacob going right down to the apron, trying to peek underneath Fowler there. Fowler kind of cut him off, but Angle looking to try to make a pass, try to get right to the back bumper of that 90 truck. Make sure, like I said, keep him in sight, because right now, if this race were to finish right now, Lambert would be your champion. So Nagel definitely wants to make sure he's sticking with him as close as possible.
Yeah, and he might be able to do that now. Side by side, Fowler and Jacob coming through this tri-oval on the front stretch. Now the 32 of Johns. He is in this championship fight. He wants a piece of this action. He might be looking three, not going to look three. He's just going to tuck him behind the 48, try to draft him past Fowler, but Fowler holding tough there on that outside line.
And that side-by-side battle with the 48 and the 54 is exactly what, number one, what Johns wants to see, because it's going to allow him to stick right there with him, but it's also going to let the 458 and the 90 kind of break away just a little bit, about a tenth of a second, or 4/10 of a second over Fowler right now.
Yeah, we're going to hop on board with Fowler, and what we want to show you all is you just got to watch. You can hear not really getting off of that throttle a whole lot, but do you see how that truck is just starting to push in the middle of the turn now? Right now, he is still making a ton of speed, and he is certainly using that draft to do it. But what is going to happen to that truck is he gets on that throttle a little early in the apex. That truck's going to continue to push and continue to push, and it's going to cause this thing to slow down little by little every single lap. Is now Jacob underneath of the 54, Josh underneath of the 458. So we are side by side, first and second, and third and fourth.
Yeah, some really great battles here for these top four spots here. But, you know, the one thing I was thinking about, you know, is this may be one of those situations where these trucks are going to get tight before they get loose. I mean, we talked about it earlier. If you're going to burn up that right rear, you know, these things are going to get kind of really tail happy towards the end of a run. So, but right now it looks like some, you know, get back on that throttle too soon, it's going to get tight. So this might be one of those interesting situations where you're going to battle a tight condition early on, but then you're going to be fighting a loose condition later on.
Well, you can see what the 48 is battling, and what's happening there to the 48 is he is getting caught kind of in that jet wash there of the 90. He's not able to really get that truck to rotate, especially on the outsides. Now, Melton is going to get in the wall behind the 32. And we got a little bit of damage on the right side of Melton. We'll keep that here, but it does look like Lambert's able to get underneath of the 458, and he's going to be able to make that pass. But we were talking about before, 458 getting super tight midway through that turn and on the exit, and that is just simply being behind another truck and just getting stuck in that dirty air.
Biggest thing with these trucks is, you know, you get mired there, you know, kind of in that dirty air, and it kind of holds you back and bogs you down a little bit. Now we see the 48 trying to look underneath the 458. You know, he see that 90 take that jump to the lead. He wants to keep him close. That 90 saw the 48 coming and was like, I got to go.
Yeah, 458 starting to slide back now. That is going to put him right in the crosshairs of the 48. Jacob wanting to get by Bryant pretty quickly because now it looks like Lambert has settled in to start driving this truck forward if somebody doesn't catch up to that draft. And so we'll see how this is going to go. But you look at the 48, he wants to get by. Right behind Fowler is going to be Johns there in that 32 along with Chris Melton. So all of those drivers are going to want to get by and be able to fight for this championship.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I know the one thing that was kind of said a little bit earlier, you know, with Lambert is, you know, these guys have really got to be careful if Lambert gets out in fresh air, because that's where he starts to check out a little bit, you know, and we're kind of seeing that already as he's up to about a half a second now over that 458. So, you know, he gets out there in that fresh air and kind of gets himself into a rhythm. He tends to check out. So, you know, right here is where you definitely want to try to make sure that you stay with him to not let him get too far out there.
Yeah, now 7/10 is going to be your lead, so it does look like Lambert is starting to stretch this thing out. Now Chris Melton all over the back end of the 32. Now he's going to make that crossover, get down to the bottom, and now they're going to touch through the triover. They're still door banging. Wreck not over. Now they're starting to settle it out, and it just looks like, Russ, maybe the 32 thought the 70 was going to take that that shortcut through the trioval, and he did not, and they just started door banging.
It's one of them situations of hard, tight racing, but that was a great save there by the 32, almost dead sideways there on the front stretch, able to keep that thing saved and keep that thing going.
Yeah, now Rick in that 71, he is moving his way forward, trying to get past the 33. I believe he is going to get that pass done. He is. So now that is going to put him into 8th, right behind the 32. That I think the 32 might be struggling a bit on tires. Now stuck on the outside as the 81 is underneath of him now. Man, I will tell you, comers and goers, right now the 48 is going to get by Bryant in the 458. So now Jacob is going to be there. He is choosing to take that higher line than what Lambert is doing. But I've got to tell you, it looks like Lambert's starting to stretch this out almost a second now, 20 laps into this race. It does look like the 48 is gaining some speed and a little bit of steam here by running this high line.
Yeah, I mean, he got clear of that 458. Now he's trying to run 90 down. But, you know, like I said, the one thing is that 90 gets out there in clean air. I mean, he tends to check out. He's kind of managing this gap right now, though, sticking right around 9/10 to almost a second here. But, I mean, I think we're also going to be closing in on our on what I believe would be some first-round pit stops here before too long, I believe. So, you know, these pit stops, you know, under green flag, they can, you know, they can change a lot of stuff.
Yes, they certainly can. We're going to go back here and look at Stutzman in that 180 all over Johns. Now, just like you said, look at the action coming down pit road. Oh, my goodness, we're going to have some contact. Oh, the 01 is involved in that. Just a melee coming down pit lane. It looks like everybody's going to straighten out some heavy, heavy damage left front. And now we're going to have another spin.
Whole bunch of chaos coming on pit entry here. That's kind of the calamity you'd expect when all these drivers decide to pit all at the same time.
My goodness, now it does look like, let's see who's going to get out here. The 52 is still out. This is going to be a mess to try to straighten up. He is coming down pit road. Lambert, I believe, coming out now is going to be the first driver out. Jacob is right behind him.
I'm gonna say this is one of the things that we've seen happen time and time again this season is with these green flag pit stops. It's going to be interesting to see how much this lead between Lambert and Jacob is going to grow, because we've seen time and time again green flag pit stops are Josh Lambert's bread and butter. This is where he gains a lot of time, so it's going to be interesting to see how much extra time he's able to gain on pit road this time around.
Well, it looks like that is going to be right around 2 seconds. So he went in about a second ahead It looks like 2 seconds on and off of pit road. It does look like his time was 34.63. Russ, everybody else 36.58 for Jacob, 36.58 for Fowler, 35.73 for Melton. So, but at least a second and a half faster than every other driver getting on and off of pit road there.
Yeah, this is, like I said, this is one thing we've seen time and time again this season with, with Josh is he gains so much time on and off pit road, where he gains, a second, 2 seconds, sometimes 3 seconds every single pit stop. And that's what really helps him gain this massive lead that he has. So I would really be interested to talk to him at some point about what his pit strategy is about. Not saying he's going to tell me anything, but how he's able to really stretch that gap on pit road, because I've really never been able to see, or I've never really seen anybody be that good on pit road to gain 2-3 seconds every single pit stop.
Well, he certainly did that now. As you can see, that battle for fifth is cooling down. Landon has it there in that 22 truck. Rick right behind him in the 71, but not too far behind him is going to be Jeff there in the 81. So these three trucks, they're all fighting for fifth, sixth, and seventh here on the grid.
Yeah, Rich there in sixth. He's one of them ones. He's trying to chase his championship. So, we're going to have to keep an eye on him and see if he's able to march his way even further forward.
Yeah, and it looks like Rick is starting to slide back just a little bit right into the grass there of the 81 truck. So it does look like Jeff is starting to reel in the 71 as Landon is stretching that out in the 22 truck. But we're going to go right back up here, so not too far behind. Chris Melton has now made that pass on Fowler. Fowler in the 54 come out in third. Melton is fighting for your championship. He is going to take that third position over and start to work his way up. Now about a second and a quarter behind, and now big into the wall with that right rear. That's going to pull Fowler right back into play.
One thing I've noticed with Melton over the course of this season too is he's one of them ones that tends to find long run speed. He kind of mired between fifth and 10th for most of the race, but as the race progresses, he tends to find a lot of speed and really drive his way up to the front. So, like you said, another driver is trying to chase his championship. So we'll have to keep an eye on him too to see how much farther forward he's able to go.
Yeah, very interesting here, Russ, to see a lot of these drivers electing to hop up to that high line early on in this second run, right? Because it looked like in the beginning, everybody wrapping that white line. Now, later on in this run, in that last run, everybody started to migrate up to the top, but early on in the second stint, everybody sticking to the top. Now, that could be just a gas and go scenario where you still have those old tires on those trucks really running to the top line better, but it does look like everybody is using that top line just like we thought early on in this race. You're going to have 2, maybe even 3 lines that can be quick around this track as you see it now.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, and I'm also wondering maybe if it doesn't have something to do with the transition of day to night here. I mean, I think I've seen quite a few times where as these races transition from day to night or afternoon to night, sometimes that top side tends to be the more favorable line because you just tend to get more grip or something up there. So it could be just one of those factors. But yeah, it's interesting to see these guys going up there this early in a run.
Yeah, absolutely. Now it looks like the 52 is going to sneak right on by the 180. So Randy in front of Stutzman, and the 180 slides back one more position to 13th. There's now you can see a driver in the wall, and it looks like he is going to be able to get down. Is that going to be Ryan Lang? No, that's going to be, not sure who that was there, Russ, that went away. But now Tim Johns, Joseph Phelps right here. Joseph in that 57 is one of your championship drivers here. He is one of the 6 drivers that made it to this race, is in contention, as now he's going to go by the 180, looking to go by the 180 here and pick up that 13th position.
Yeah, Phelps is trying to figure something out here to try to work his way up, closer to the front of this thing. Right now, I think he's about fifth out of the playoff guys. I think the Tim Johns, I think right now is the would be the sixth, the sixth championship driver, sitting back there all the way back in P20 a lap down. So I mean, 57 is going to have to try to figure something out here because I mean we're clean and green for the first 32 laps. So this thing's going to tick off quick.
Now, here is a great battle. It has happened ever since the drop of this green flag. Fowler right there in third. Melton's in fourth. So it looked like Melton got by Fowler a little bit earlier on when we come out of pit road. Now it looks like Fowler has worked his way back around, and this fight is on for third position once again. Now, all of this going on about 6 seconds behind your leader. It looks like Jacob has lost about another second since he come out of the pits. 4 seconds between Josh Lambert there and Jacob in second position.
Yeah, Lambert just kind of set the sail there again. But I want to mention one thing about Fowler. I mean, I've kind of been watching him off and on since the drop of this green flag. And he really seems to be comfortable here at Chicagoland because, I mean, I'm kind of seeing him drive just a little bit more aggressive than in certain situations than what I'm used to seeing. So, I mean, Fowler obviously very comfortable in that truck, being able to make some of these moves that he's been able to make here tonight. So, good on him, currently running P3.
Hey, sometimes you come in with the game plan just to throw caution to the wind and choose violence. And certainly that 54 truck has chosen to come out here, be aggressive, and he is putting a bit of a gap here now on Melton. Melton continuing to fall back, but right now, if I look at some of the faster cars on this track right now, that truck, that 54 black and blue truck is your fastest truck on this track. Last lap with a 31.70. So he is certainly on the march forward. As now we're going to go back and look at Rick and the 81 and the 22. This battle still not died down. 36 laps into a 100-lap race.
Yeah, that 71 is still trying to figure out a way around that 22, try to get himself another spot just in case something were to happen, still put himself in a prime spot to nab this championship. But, yeah, great battle here for 5th, 6th, and 7th.
Yeah, 81 really working the bottom, and it looks like really, after this update, Russ, it just seems like, iRacing was so dominant, wrapping an oval, wrapping the bottom, wrapping the white line, and it just seems like after that update and the tire update, a lot of these cars, even the next gen, the trucks, the ARCA cars, the Gen 4 cars, they've all been able to find different lines to run on these tracks, and you're seeing it now. 81 still working and wrapping the bottom, but really quick is the 22 and the 71 on the high line.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we call races on Thursday nights too, and which is for next gens, and I'm kind of seeing the same thing. I just like, with the last update, like you said, the maybe a little bit of a tire model change with the trucks, a little bit of track transition. Things have definitely seemed a lot racier in all of these NASCAR style leagues. I mean, like you said, able to run different lines, and each line is able to be dominant or non-dominant. I mean, like you said, we're used to seeing guys wrap that bottom, and now we're seeing guys be able to run that top and have a lot of speed and be consistent.
Yeah, now something has happened. I'm not sure if it is this. You can see the truck in front of Lambert does not have a left front fender. I'm not sure if he slowed Josh down in that 90. Maybe he got caught in that dirty air, but what was a 4-second lead looks like now as Jacob is going to come down pit road. It was only a couple of seconds, but it looks like Jacob is going to come down the pits. That is 40 laps in.
I think a couple other guys are. Yeah, I was saying, I think we're heading into our second round of pit stops. I'm figuring, probably right around 20 laps per stint. So I was just going to call it out. We're closing in on that second round of pit stops. So, I mean, we may see some differing strategies here again.
All right, so let's take a look. You can see how busy pit road is now. Let's see if we can get this for you. That is going to be the 48, the 71, Ridgeway in the 33, and Gardner in the 43. All of those drivers coming down. You can see they're all getting tires. And this is coming out at lap 41, so that gives you 59 laps to go, which I would assume, Russ, they're going to try to cut in half for the remainder of this race.
Well, I mean, I think we saw it last week at Kentucky. I think it right around 20 to 23 laps to a fuel run. So I think we're going to see the same kind of effects as what we saw last week. I think guys are going to take tires this round, come in for fuel around lap 60, 61, and then have to come down again for their final pit stop around 80 to 82. They'll take that last set of tires for the run to the end.
Yeah, we're going to see how this is going to play out. It does look like all of those drivers took tires on this run, so they have one set left over the wall. As you can see, now the 22 is coming out. Now it's going to be interesting to see how Landon filters out right in front of your leader, and that is Randy. Randy has not come down the pit yet, as it looks like maybe now he is. Yes, he is going to come down the pit lane. He's going to get wide, and he is going to spin that truck on the outside cone. That is going to be a black flag coming down pit road. Oh, just a death shot to that 52 truck. We'll see what happens as he comes down. Phelps is going to come down as well. That is going to turn this thing over to the 48 machine now. And we're going to see what's going to happen. He is going to have about half a second, 7/10 of a second lead over Lambert. So let's see what happened coming down pit road. Now, Lambert, again, a second and a half faster than that 48 truck on and off of pit road.
48, elected to come down before the 90 this time around. The 90 was the first one on pit road that first set. So, coming down a lap earlier, able to give the 48 the lead over the 90. Going to have, the 90's going to have about a lap fresher tires, but we're running into some lap traffic here. So it's going to come down to who can fight through this traffic best. But that 90 is going to look to run this 48 right back down and take this lead back.
Man, and you can see the 48 has not wasted any time. He is going to split that 01 and the 180. He's going to stay on that high side and try to blow by the 180. Now Lambert's going to do the same thing, as it looks like the 180 is going to slow down and kind of let these two leaders go. 3/10 is going to be your lead right now. But we do have some more battles all over this track now. Fowler and Rick right here in the 71. Rick coming in and out of the pits in a fantastic fashion. He is going to be in third position, but Fowler all over the back end of this 51.
Yeah, 71 had to have had a great pit stop. I mean, able to jump, I believe it was like 3 or 4 positions on pit road there, working himself up to P3. So had a really good pit stop that time around. Found himself right up front there.
Yeah, and you can tell that 71 is driving that truck as hard as he can. Now it looks like the 54 are going to shoot low, not able to get it done. Both of them passing the 32. And that is John's. That is one of your championship drivers struggling tonight. They're 2 laps down on the field, but John all over the back end of 71. I just think this is a matter of time as the 71 continuing to push wide on the exit of these turns.
Yeah, it's going to be, we're going to be 4 wide here almost. We're going to go 3 wide now down to that front stretch. Fowler looking, a lot of speed looking down on that inside, trying to get by these guys and work his way back up towards the front here.
Man, Fowler keeping that aggression. They're going to be side by side. The 71, a fantastic run on the outside. I do believe that John has the better rotation through the center of the turn right now than what the 71 does, but my goodness, he can't get off of the turn without pushing, and that is going to keep the 71 high. Now it looks like he might use this 01 as a pick.
He tried. 71 going to stay high there. The 01's going to stay high, and these Fowler and the 71 there are going to keep this battle going.
And here you go for the lead. The 90 has found the 48 again. The 48 is going to hold tough on the outside, and this is just what Jacob wants. Make the 90 work. Make him work. Make him hold that line now. Super tight going into 1. And now the 48 can kind of just hold serve. If he can just stay within striking distance, you never know what's going to happen. A slide going down pit road. We've seen a lot of trucks get sideways. We've seen some pit stops take a little bit longer. You just want to stay in striking distance, and it does look like the 48 is doing well on the exit of these turns, staying off of that wall.
Yeah, I mean, the one thing right now, too, I mean, we talked about it earlier, is that dirty air. You don't want that dirty air. You kind of want to be where the 90's not. But at the same time, by trying to keep that clean air on the nose, it's going to cost him, or the 48, just a little bit of that draft. So, I mean, it's kind of like a battle of two evils here between dirty air and draft, and trying to find that middle ground.
Yeah, and listen, let's not talk about it. Let's go inside of this 48 truck and let's see what it is like to do a few laps around Chicagoland, as we are going to go silent, Russ and I, and we are going to see what it is like to take a lap around in second position following Josh Lambert in this 48 truck. We're going to do an inside the lap here. All right, so there you go. We went inside with this 48 machine. As you can hear, it is just really, Russ, all throttle. It doesn't seem like that 48 is pushing. It just, the rotation is a little bit better with better tires on that 90 machine. But again, Jacob a little closer to the 90 now. Only a second is going to separate these two. 54 laps in, so when they get ready to take this next pit stop, which will be in less than 10 laps, he is going to be a lot closer to that 4 or 5 seconds that he was in the beginning.
Yeah, absolutely. Going to have himself in a little bit of a better position than he did that last one. But, we can see it again, that 90 just there in that clean air, just, like you said, able to rotate the corners just a little bit better and start to stretch this gap out up to about a 1.2 second lead now for Lambert.
Yeah, and as we watch those two drivers, this battle is back on. Fowler has gotten ahead of the 71, but Rick has now tracked Fowler back down. And that lead, which it looked like was about half a second, has now shrunk as the 71 back to the bumper of this 54 truck. So maybe John putting a little bit more will and a little bit more speed in that truck than what Rick did early on. It looks like Rick's starting to fight back.
Yeah, maybe just burned the stuff up just a little bit, but 71 trying to track him down, but the 54 able to hold strong here as it stands going into turn one.
Man, it does look like John is rotating nice, coming off of the exit of these turns, staying far away, keeping that truck at a low exit. Rick really pushing, taking a little bit of a later entry and almost working a diamond off of these turns. So both of these trucks doing a good line, but don't look now. Landon Huff right back there in 5th position. He's not done fighting. So it looks like he is working that high line. We talked about this in the beginning. We talked about it in the middle, but you can see 3 very distinct lines: low line, middle line, high line, working here tonight at Chicagoland in these trucks.
Yeah, absolutely. It's good to see, like, those 3 different lines able to run and hold strong all throughout this race so far.
All right, so we've got battles here. Landon Huff is working his way to the back end of the 71, really using that high line to gain a ton of momentum. down these straightaways is now he's going to touch the wall. He is going in this thing so high. But look at the run, Russ, that he is getting down these straightaways, pulling ever so closer to this 71 truck.
Yeah, I mean, we saw that with Fowler a little bit ago. You know, once he got up there on that high side, you know, he was able to really stretch the gap between him and that 71. You know, and then now he's starting to get back towards the bottom. 71 was able to keep the run up with him, but you know, that 22 up there on that high side, able to get right to the bumper of the 71, and he's going to try to make this pass.
Man, sparks are flying on that right rear quarter panel of that 22. Now the 71 is going to duck down pit road. Jacob is going to be down pit road as well. And that is going to be along with Jeff in the 81. So you've got 3 takers, Ridgeway coming down and out in that 33 truck. So right now you've got 4 drivers down. That's Jacob, Rick, Jeff, and John Gardner all down pit road right now, as Lambert is going to continue to be your leader.
Yeah, 3 out of 4 pit stops done. We got 1 more money stop left to go in this thing. We're still clean and green, 61 laps in. Lambert still holding out there. You think he's going to try to go maybe another lap or 2 and try to stretch this last set of tires when he comes down for that last pit stop, so that he's got a little bit lap pressure tires at the end of this thing.
Well, and a little bit more fuel in the tank, right, Russ? Because I think what he's looking for is now he is going to come down pit road and he is going to get service, because the quicker that last stop is going to be, and we're going to see if he's going to take tires. There is 1 set left, and I would assume you're going to take that set for that last run, but you could take it now and be on old tires for this last run. So a little bit of strategy could play in here.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and you know, we've got that one last pit stop, you know, with about roughly 18 to 20 laps to go. But the question also begs is, you know, do any of these other championship drivers risk it on that last stop and only take 2 tires?
Oh, Melton talking about Risky is going to go around the outside of a truck driver and then come down pit road. He is not wasting any time and waiting on anyone else. He is going to get that done. Now, this is going to put Lambert back out front. It does look like Jacob in that 48 is going to be about 4.5 seconds behind. So down pit road again. On and off, 34.75 for Josh Lambert, that 90. Jacob with a 36.05. So again, Jacob having to overcome seconds on pit road every stop, and it's just insurmountable at a certain point.
Yeah, I mean, it's just incredible how each and every one of these pit stops, Lambert's able to put, like I said, seconds on everybody else. And you know, that's where I was just saying, you know, you're seeing that happen. You know, if you're somebody like Jacob, if you're somebody like Rick, you know, and or even Melton, you know, and you're in this championship battle, do you maybe take the risk of taking 2 tires on that last pit stop to try to gain some extra track position and try to leapfrog that 90 and try to put yourself in a position to win this championship? Or do you stick to the status quo and take those 4 tires?
I don't think you have a choice. Who cares who finishes second? Who cares who finishes third? It's the driver of these 6 that finishes in front of the other ones. And right now, that's going to be that 90 machine. You are going to have to finish in front of this 90 truck to be able to take this championship. So, Russ, I would think if it were me, I don't even know if I'm taking tires if I'm Rick in the 71, because I'm 10.5 seconds back. 2 tires isn't going to do it. You know, I'm not sure that 2 tires is going to do it for any of these drivers.
Up in the wall. I think it was a 57 maybe up in the wall.
Let's go back and take a look. I don't see anybody. Now, I do see the 174 going off track. That is the only one I see. I do not see the 57 of Phelps. Yes, he is hurt, Russ. He is hurt. That is one of your championship drivers. Let's see what happened. Let's go back and take one more look at this, folks. As you can see, the front fender flying off of this truck. Oh, just getting crossed up.
Just below the white line. Looks like he got just below the white line down there, got himself a little crossed up and loose and not able to save it.
Oh, that is going to put one of your championship drivers out of contention. No right front fender on that 57 truck. Rolling down there on the apron, and he is down getting service. That is going to bring out the caution. My goodness. Everything is going to reset. 67 laps. They can't make it from here.
Yeah, I think the most they're able to get out of a fuel run is about 21 to 22, and we've got 33 left to go. So, I mean, we may see some different calls here. I mean, do you come down now, top off, and then come down and for a splash and go, or do you just stay out and come down in about 13 more laps and do a normal full pit stop?
Well, you could see a lot of these drivers choosing not to come down pit road at all. Now, we do have a taker. Jeff is going to come down pit road. A lot of drivers back here in the back maybe topping off on fuel, like you said. But it does look like everybody else is going to stay out. Now, while we are under caution, we are going to pay a few bills. So just hang with us here as we play a commercial. We'll be right back with you. All right, so there you go. A little information there from Complete Graphics. If you want to get a scheme done, Complete Graphics is your place to go. You can reach out to John Fowler here through the Discord. You can find him on Facebook, anywhere you want to go. He is in that blue and black 54 truck. Certainly appreciate him sponsoring this league this season as we now go one more time here under caution. Josh Lambert going to bring them down. That 48 truck right on the outside. You know he's hungry. Rick right there as well. Chris Melton now has caught back up. The 22 Landon Huff has shown some speed. So here we go one more time, Russ. We are going to bring these drivers down here to a green flag at Chicagoland.
Yeah, four of the six championship drivers right here inside the top six. So, I mean, the only other one other than the 57 who we just saw get in the wall there, is Tim Johns, and he's currently back in 17th, 2 laps down. So right now, four of those six championship drivers, the 90, the 48, the 71, and the 70, all right up there within the top six.
And they are going to have 31 laps to go. Will be 30 when they cross this start-finish line. Lights out on that pace car, bringing these trucks down one more time here at Chicagoland. He's going to dive off hard left. You can see him now, this 90 truck, green flag now back in the air. Great jump, and now it looks like the 48 going to squeeze right down in front of Fowler to take over that second position as now they go in here through turn one. 3 wide, it looks like. Stagger 3 wide.
Launch there by the 90. I mean, he had the control, got out to a great lead, and that 48 able to squeeze in right behind him. I mean, right now is a shot for some of these guys to pick up some extra positions. I mean, we got about probably 10 laps before we're going to see these guys come down pit road and get that final splash of fuel and last 4 sets of tires here. And then it's going to be all out for the last 20 laps to determine a champion here. So great launch by the 90 and the 48.
Yet I think both of those drivers just need to stay patient. 48 needs to stay patient. Use that draft to your advantage. That truck, even if you miss the bottom here in these turns, that truck is going to pull you around. So your best bet is just to kind of stick yourself in line here use that draft to your advantage. But man, he has got some hound dogs breathing down his neck. Fowler is on his way there. Brian in that 458, we haven't said his name in a little while, leading this race early on. He is now underneath the Fowler. He wants that third spot.
Like you said, for that 48 to stay in the draft of the 90, I mean, you know, that caution gives him 10 laps to try to stick with the 40 or with the 90 for this last round of pit stops. Is going to probably put him the closest that he'd have a chance to get there. But this 458 kind of coming out of nowhere and looking to take over P2 from 48.
I've got to imagine, Russ, that maybe this driver has some fresh tires on. All of these other drivers on some older tires, as that 458 now coming forward, going all after Lambert. And this might have been the play, as now he's going to look underneath here for the lead coming out of 4. This might have been the play, as fresh tires are just going to be a splash and go.
Yeah, I mean, you know, definitely a different strategy call. I mean, like I said, you kind of throw caution to the wind here. Last race of the season, you're looking to get a win. You're trying to play championship spoiler here. Why not make a call that's kind of different from everybody else?
Well, it did look like he did. Now he has those fresh tires. Now 5/10 is going to be your lead, and I just kind of agree with this call, Russ, because I feel like if you're only going to have 10 laps on fresh tires, you're not going to run this 458 down, as he's going to spend 20 laps gapping you.
Yeah, I mean, definitely a bold call. I mean, like I said, a little bit of a different strategy, and you know, sometimes those differing strategies tend to play out very well for those drivers. So we'll have to see if it's going to work out for the 458 here, and allow him to be able to bring home this win.
Oh, and caution is going to come out on the field. What has happened here at Chicagoland? Caution is out.
I'm not seeing a caution.
Oh, I do show a caution out. So, yeah, I don't see it either, but our ticker is definitely showing caution.
I was saying, these guys are still going hard. I'm not seeing a caution out here.
Yeah, it is 25 to go. It does show that a caution come out on our ticker. So I do apologize about that. 24 laps now to go. But, you know, you got to think, it looks like, Russ, to me, this is about 4 to 5 tenths a lap that the 458 is putting on Lambert. And not only Lambert, but the 81 of Jeff. He has fresh tires, and he now has passed the 90. Not only him, but Thomas Ridgway is coming up with fresh tires. And it looks like a couple of other drivers have fresh tires all over this track passing these cars. Just not sure how this is going to work out here with the pit strategy.
Yeah, I mean, if we're gonna, if we end up staying green to the end of this thing, I mean, you know, guys having to come back down and get those tires, you know, they're going to have about 18 laps, you know, left in this race to try to catch back up. I mean, the 458, the 81, 33, obviously probably going to have to come down and get a splash and go, but is that pit stop going to be short enough to allow them to maintain a larger lead over Lambert and Jacob and Fowler?
Well, let's just look. 3 seconds now is going to separate the 458 and Lambert, which is going to be your first driver that is on old tires, as now he is going to get past. And I just don't know if these drivers that stayed on old tires, I just don't know if they can come back. But we're going to see what happens. 21 laps to go. You've got to think the 90, you know, the 48 are starting to think, should I come in now? Because I want to maximize these fresh tires. And maybe if I'm 48, I'm coming in right now.
Yeah, I mean, they're definitely coming within another lap or two, maybe 3 at the absolute most. But, you know, if you're that 48, I mean, you kind of want to do something different from the 90. If you're going to put yourself in a position to try to beat him for this championship, this is the pit stop that you're going to have to make that choice and that decision as to how you're going to go about it.
Now half a second is going to separate your two leaders, as the 81 machine has now found some life later on. Jeff all over the back end here now of the 458 in this 81. 20 laps to go. This is going to be your battle for the lead as he is about 0.2 faster than your leader right now.
Yeah, 81 definitely running the 458 down. I mean, maybe the 458 just went a little bit hard at the, at the start of that run, getting up here to the lead. Now the 81 right on the back bumper, going to look to the inside, going down the backstretch.
Man, it just looks like he's going to make pretty quick work of the 81. 81 is going to fight down low and stay. And now that pass is going to be done there. 81 is going to be out in front. Jeff taking over that top spot from Bryant.
Here comes the pit stop. Yeah.
Here comes the pit stops. There is Lambert. Let's see what he is going to do, folks, as I continue to try to fix this tower so it doesn't show us yellow flags. There we go. I think we're in good shape now, as it does look like Josh is going to come down. Now, he's going to get tires. Is this just rights? Rights are up on the truck. 33 down and away. Now, lefts are going to come up.
4 tires for the 90. Looks like 4 tires for everybody that just came down.
Folks, this is going to get interesting. 17 laps to go. 81 now coming down pit road. So important to nail this, Russ. So important to get these done. Get in and out as fast as you can. I believe you're going to see the 81 as a fuel only. Now, the question is 15 laps, is 16 laps enough on 4 fresh tires to come back from that far behind?
Yeah, I was going to say, I just saw Lambert and Josh, and Jacob go by the 81. They're coming down the back stretch now. They're back on the lead lap. Now we see the 81 pulling out of pit road. I'm just not sure if if this gap is going to be big enough to maintain this lead, because Lambert and Jacob now coming across the start finish line. The 81's just now coming out of pit road on the backstretch, so he's going to be under fire really quick from the 90 and the 48 here.
All right, let's see what's going to happen now. We still have some leaders, as it looks like Landon Huff showing crash, and caution is out on the field.
Wow. Now that's going to change everything up again.
And there he is, up against the wall there in 3. Let's see what happened to Landon. Is this maybe trying to come down pit road? Yeah.
Oh, hard hit for the 22 there.
And you can hear the engine blowing up in that truck as well.
That is going to, unfortunately, end his night.
All right, so Landon Huff is going to take that to the pit road. So let's see if we can reset this thing. Now, Stutzman was your leader, is your leader right now in that 180. Man, I just don't know how this is going to shake out, because these drivers are going to have to come down pit road, but your other drivers are going to have to take a wave around. That's Lambert, the 48 of Jacob. All those drivers are going to have to take a wave around here, because they're going to be on the lead. They're going to be a lap down right now until these drivers come down pit road.
Yeah, it looked like the 90 might have got the lucky dog. I'm still showing the 48 as being a lap down. So so Jacob's going to get the wave around. Melton will get the wave around. And all these guys out front, they're going to be able to hold that position. Question is did any of them happen to have tires left to where now they're going to be on the same kind of a tire strategy as what Lambert and Jacob are going to have?
I see rights going up on the 180. Rights going up on a lot of these trucks. Lefts going up on a lot of these trucks. I do feel like there were some drivers that took 4 tires here.
Yeah, I mean, This could play dividends. I mean, it's only going to be a couple of laps, but this could play out for some of these guys.
All right, so we're going to reset this for you as soon as they get the wave around. We'll take a look at where this, you'll see the lights go out on that pace car, and you'll start to see some people passing. Now, right now, this 81 machine is shown as your leader. Ridgeway is going to be second. Lambert right there in third. So maybe those drivers were that there's no way they got their lap back there. We'll have to see how this is going to shake out here when it calls back. You've got some drivers here in front of your safety car that are going to, now that those lights are out, they're going to get the wave around, and there they go. And I think this is going to benefit Lambert in the long run here. He's going to be sitting in third.
Because now I'm looking at this lineup, and I'm seeing the 48 all the way back in P8.
12 laps remain. Let's see if we can set this up for your championship drivers. Josh Lambert is going to be in front of every one of your other drivers. The 48 is going to be next. The 70 of Melton is right there in 9th. Rick is in 10th. And it looks like John's in 16th. He is sitting in the pits, and then Phelps is out of that championship battle. So it does look like right now, Lambert, if everything were to stop, will be your champion. But we have a lot of laps to turn here with 12 to go.
Yeah, you know, and once we hit that 10 to go, I mean, heck, even once we drop this green flag, I mean, things are bound to heat up. You know, we may see some you know, cautions breeding cautions. We may see a whole change of events here. So we're back green now, and let's see what happens.
Man, that 458, he looked awful sporty, but I think he's going to be on older tires. The 90 is going to have the fresher tires, I believe, than most of these drivers out front. He is going to try to make short work of the 81 truck. 81 is going to stay high and give the bottom there to the 90. Josh Lambert looking to take over that lead right off of the bat here. 458 is going to follow him. Man, we got drivers all over this track vying for position. Just look at them spread out through this tri-oval.
Plays 10 laps to go. There's no holding anything back now.
Man, we have got them side by side, wheel to wheel. The 88 down there on the bottom. He is digging for every position he can get. That is one. With a fantastic
48.
run. He is up 15 positions, Russ.
Yeah, great move there by Juan on that 88 there. I was just going to say, like, I was watching the 48, you know, the time is crunching. I can see him, like, bobbing and weaving between traffic, trying to drive his way back up here to the front. But, yeah, not taking anything away from Juan in that 88. He's had a great run here tonight, just kind of silently working his way up to the front here with 9 to go.
And he is not done now, taking over that third position from the 81. 81 was your starter in that lower line when we went back green, now starting to fall back, and that's just old tires. The 48 is still on the hunt. He is in 5th position, doing everything he can do. 2 trucks side by side right in front of him. He's just trying to find somewhere to go here, Russ.
Yeah, he's slowly watching that 90 just kind of start to check out. I mean, up to a 0.6 of a second lead over that 458. He's trying to work his way around this 81 here, trying to keep that 90 in sight just in case there happens to be the chance that he could get back to the bumper of him. But right now, slowly watching that championship hope drift away.
Now, still working. He is going to get that pass done. Now the 88 or the 81 continuing to fall back. So, as you talked about, Rick starting to see his championship hopes falling away now. 48 getting by. He is now on the hunt for 3rd position. And he's got a truck in between him and third and a couple of seconds right now. But up front, this 88 machine out of nowhere, Juan on the march forward. He is going to get this second position taken over, now 7/10 behind with 5 laps to go.
Yeah, definitely found something here in the later end. Not sure if maybe he had a fresh set of tires sitting there on pit road, but showing a lot of speed right now, 7/10 behind Lambert. Going to try to run this 90 truck down and try to snatch his win away from him.
And he is right now running him down, now 1/10 of a second already down. Juan has put the accelerator down on the bottom of this floor pan of this 88 truck, now 6/10. So he is certainly faster than your leader right now. 4 laps to go, now with inside 6/10 of a second.
Slowly reeling him in. Just got to hope he's got enough laps to get it done.
He's got to stay patient. 5/10 of a second now. Josh does not need this win. Second will be just fine with him. Third will be just fine with him. But you know he is going to want this win now. 3 laps to go. 5/10 is going to separate your first and second drivers. Jacob is in fourth. He is a 1.5 behind third position.
Yeah, Josh there, you know, most wins on the season. Clearly one of the more dominating drivers all season long. Sees this championship slowly within his grasp, coming to 2 to go here.
Man,
He's
but
just
right
looking to
now,
get it done.
he has got to fight with this 88. This is not a race that is going to be over. I do think the 88 is going to get there. 3/10 now, separate your two. He is firmly in the draft now of this 90. I don't know if the 90 is going to fight extremely hard for this win. He wants that championship, but he wants to close this thing out. Now coming to the white flag, 3/10 are going to separate this driver in Josh Lambert, fighting for the championship, and Juan here. Final lap, here we go.
I don't think if that 88 gets to him, I don't think the 90 really thinking the long term here with this last lap going to fight him too hard, but I'm not quite sure if the 88 is going to have enough time. He's going to come out of 2, try to look for a run down the backstretch.
Not a whole lot there. 2/10 are going to separate your two drivers. As long as Josh Lambert hits this 3 and 4, he is going to be your championship driver here, and he is going to get that done. Free Time Racing putting yet another win in the books. The 88 valiant effort coming back, but your champion for this season, the 90, Josh Lambert, getting this thing done. He is going to burn that down and celebrate multiple wins here on this season, picking up yet another win. The 48 putting up a great effort. He is going to finish 4th. Fowler is going to finish 5th. 458 coming back with a nice podium finish here. Bryant having a good run, but it's all about your championship driver here, Josh Lambert. 4,800 IR, Russ, just a great driver.
Definitely the dominant driver of the entire season. You know, we've said it time and time again, week after week. Definitely showing his skill and toughness out there, and you know, 6 wins, 7 wins on the season. Definitely deserving of this championship. Able to go out here tonight at Chicagoland and get the job done, winning the race, winning the championship. Congrats to the 90 and Josh Lambert.
All right, let's see if we can get some of these drivers up here and have a quick conversation with them. It's now it looks like Josh is going to want to take this thing backwards. And let's see if we can get some people here in the waiting room. And we do have a few drivers. Let's see if we can find Bryant and Juan. I'm not sure if this is Juan in our booth or not. We're going to see if we can bring him up. I'm not sure who this is here, Russ. Let's see if we can give him a little bit of time.
I'll say I can.
Hey, is this Juan? Oh, we've lost Juan. Can you hear us? I can barely hear you. It's really, really faint.
John, I see Juan just a little bit farther down. This is not Juan.
Okay, all right, let's move this gentleman back to the waiting booth and
Here, I'll bring.
let's
Let's
see if we
see.
can
Yep,
get Juan up.
I'll bring Juan up here.
All
Yep.
right, there we go. We can find Juan. Juan, this is John and Russ in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Man, I'll tell you, we searched far and wide for you. We pulled the wrong person up, but here you are, man. Look like you had a fantastic race just out of nowhere. That last stint, fresh tires coming up. Look like you might have had a little bit for Josh there at the end. Walk me through your race and what you were able to do to really find speed here at the end of this race.
Well, first of all, I'm not good at these interview things, but yeah, I was saving tires the whole race. The last caution, I took my last set of tires. I knew Josh and the guys in front they had no tires, so I went for it. I was saving gas and tires most of the race, and I got lucky in the last caution. So yeah, it was a definitely a good race.
Yeah, it was a good race by you and picking up a podium position. You're going to finish second here at Chicagoland, and it just looked like there at the end, maybe 2 laps. If you had 2 laps, I think you could have mounted a pass here to pick up the win at Chicagoland. But listen, nothing wrong with picking up a podium finish, causing yourself and getting that second place, man. Fantastic job. Juan, we'll turn it over to you. And if you have any shout outs, anybody you would like to thank, now's your time.
Yes, sir. Well, first of all, thank to FTR, Rob, and everybody to put all this great season. And yeah, shout out to the SFRG guys. They help a lot. Everybody did. And yeah, I can't wait for the next season to start.
You did a heck of a job. Congratulations on a top 3, finishing second here, last race of the season. Fantastic run. We look forward to seeing you next season.
Yes, sir. Thank y'all, and have a good night.
Thanks, Juan. All right, so there is Juan. He is your second place finisher now, it does look like we might have your championship winner. I do not see Bryant, but we're going to pull up your championship driver here, Russ, and we'll let you take that interview here. This is your winner for Chicagoland and your championship winner. This is Josh Lambert. Josh, this is John and Russ in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir. How y'all doing?
Another dominating night by you tonight. I mean, clearly, all season long, you've shown that you were the driver to beat almost each and every week. Got the job done here at Chicagoland. Officially now, three-time Racing Truck Series by Complete Graphics Series champion. Take us back through this race. What was going through your mind throughout the whole thing to make sure that you got the job done here tonight?
Well, I knew we were going to be close on fuel, so I tried to get behind. I think it was Bryant, the first run, save a little gas, make sure I could get to the end. And that caution come out, kind of changed it up. So I was kind of worried. I didn't know if I was going to have the tires for it or what. You know, I knew I was the first one to pit, but it was a good race overall. I hate to see that caution though.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you were kind of checking out there, and it stacked everything back up. But the one thing I was talking with John about, and I don't know if you want to divulge all of your secrets or not, but one thing that always interested me all season long was how you were able to gain so much time on and off pit road, compared to everybody else. It just seemed like, week in and week out, you come down pit road, you're able to get out like, 2, maybe 3 seconds ahead of where you came down pit road. Do you feel like divulging any of your little secrets as to how you're able to do that?
I think just pit road entry and exit, man, get back on the track quick. You know,
I mean,
get up close to the apron and floor it coming off the pit road. A lot of guys kind
right.
of keep it down low and it's loose down there. If you get up by the apron, get on that banking just a little bit, it'll help.
Well, I mean, it's definitely, it's definitely helped you all season long. So, I mean, it's one of those things I said earlier that it really, once you got out in that clean air, you can start to gap it. But once you come down pit road, that gap extends even more. So, I mean, it's been all season long, dude. You got this championship wrapped up. Congratulations to you. And we'll go ahead and turn it over to you and let you give all of your shout outs for this championship season.
Yeah, man, I definitely want to give a shout out to FTR. They did this was a fun season. A lot of good races, good guys in here. SFRG, um, Premier Racing. They got some really good setups this week at Chicago if y'all are interested. Other than that, man, I'm just glad to be here. Had a good time. Awesome season.
Absolutely, man. It's been a pleasure watching you all season long. Just glad I'm not out there on the track with you getting my ass whipped week in and week out. But man, great season, and hope to see you back again next season to defend your championship.
Appreciate y'all. Y'all have a good one.
Thanks, man.
All right, so there is your winner and your championship driver, Josh Lambert. I do believe that we might have Brian in the booth. I think we tried to pull him up earlier. We could hardly hear him. Let's see if we could do that again. Brian, is that you there in the booth?
Yes, sir.
Oh, man, now we've got you. I could barely hear you before. We certainly hear you now. Fantastic race for you, man. Finishing third, started on that outside pole, jumped to the lead early, kind of a little shaky in the middle of the race, but it looked like you really had some steam later on in the run. Walk me through how it went for you tonight.
Well, I didn't put on tires for the first 60 laps, and so I just kept falling further and further back. And luckily, that caution came out because I just put tires on too. So, and then there towards the end, I put on two, and that caution came out. So that didn't help.
No, it really did, because it looked like the 88 had four fresh tires and he just come, steamrolling through the field. But nonetheless, you had a fantastic drive. It looks like you really took to this. How bad was it, being caught up in that air of the other truck drivers there? It just looked like a lot of those drivers on the exit of 4 and the exit of 2 just getting caught in that kind of that dirty air, pushing those trucks really wide and burning those right fronts up.
Yeah, the longer you ran, man, you get dirty air. It just made you so loose on exit. That's what was killing me towards the end there.
Yeah, well, you did a fantastic job, man. You were able to wheel that truck over here into a podium position. Third place, last race here at Chicagoland. Congratulations, man. We'll turn it over to you, let you give your shout outs.
All right, thank you. Well, I want to shout out the whole league for letting me join this season. I had a blast and go the way I wanted, but I appreciate y'all letting me join.
You did a fantastic job. Congratulations on a podium finish tonight.
Thank you.
All right, so there is your third place driver. Now, we would be remiss if we didn't bring in your league owner. Rob, this is John and Russ in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got a copy. You got a copy on me?
Man, we hear you. Let me bring in somebody else. We want to bring in John. So first of all, Rob, we want to say congratulations on a fantastic season here in the Truck Series on Monday nights at Free Time Racing. Fantastic job by you and your team. Great racing. Hardly any cautions all the way throughout the season. Hard racing from start to finish. Just been a fantastic job by your drivers. Pleasure here at American Speed Network to call your races.
Hey, man, it's been a great season. I really appreciate what John has done for us with Complete Graphics, and I really appreciate you guys putting on a great show each and every Monday too. It's been a great season.
Well,
drivers, broadcasting, sponsors, all of it. This is a total team effort.
Man, it has been a fantastic season, and what a great finish to bring it home here at Chicagoland. But we would be remiss also if we did not bring Fowler in here. Complete Graphics being the primary sponsor here on the season for this series. FTR Complete Graphics. John, thank you very much, and we know you got a couple of things you want to say.
Yeah, hey Robert, I appreciate you letting me come in, guy. That was fun racing, man. I had a lot of fun. John, Russ, I really appreciate you guys jumping on board. Once I knew I had you guys in my pocket, I was like, all right, it's time to go talk to Robert. But I do appreciate y'all, man. It was some fun racing this year. Robert, I hope the best for you, my man. Maybe we can do something more in the future, but Monday nights look kind of rough for me. So, but
Yeah, yeah.
I appreciate you, man. I appreciate all you guys. That was so much fun. I am kind of upset with myself tonight, but it is what it is. I thought I was gonna have a real interview.
Me too. I hit the wall and I caused that pit stop debacle. Did y'all get that?
No, I don't think we must have missed it.
Dude, I spun Ziggler out and then it was just
We
chaos
did get
down there
that.
towards
We
the
did
back.
get that, Rob. We did get that.
Yeah, yeah. I got to go back and watch that. Tires were hot.
That
It
guy
was
should be
fun though.
black flagged.
I I could not get that pit entrance down today.
Well,
But yeah,
listen,
Yeah.
you guys did a fantastic job all season long. I mean, we had some great races to call. We had some fantastic battles here coming down to the end. But Rob, if you want to, let's take the little bit of time here and let's first of all thank you for a great season here on American Speed Network. And what do you have in future here for all of the other nights that you're racing? Just kind of throw a plug out there. If anybody wants to run here at Free Time Racing, this is the time to do it, as they have several series every single week. Every single night, it seems like we're doing something. So call it out here and let's see if we can get some more drivers on the team.
all right. Yeah, we've got this series coming back. It's going to be bigger. It's going to be 18 races with a 4-race playoff. So it's going to start next week, and then the same for the Cup series on Saturday night. They follow the same schedule, but if somebody's looking for something a little more laid back, we do the street stocks on Tuesday. Wednesdays we have the All Motor Racing Dirt Late Model Pro Series that John takes part in. He's a beast out there on the dirt. Thursday nights we run the FTR GT4 series. It's a new series, a little short series, just to try to get some people interested in the road side. Friday we run dirt road, red, white, and rallycross. We do cars one week, and we do the Pro 4 trucks the next. And like I mentioned before, Saturdays we do the FTR Cup series. But after this season, we're going to take it to the Xfinity side and see how that goes. But other than that, it's free time racing. If you want to race 2 or 3 races, jump in with us whenever y'all can. That's what we're here for.
Well, fantastic job on the season. Congratulations on another successful truck series here on Friday night. So, leave the last word to you and John. Anything else you guys want to throw out, and then we'll throw you back to the broadcasting waiting room.
Yeah, I just wanted to say, man, if you guys are watching, go check out Free Time Racing on Facebook. Go give them a like. Go get them a like on Twitter. I mean, on Twitch and TikTok. Same with Complete Graphics. Guys, I appreciate y'all, man. I really do. I'm going to go upstairs. I'm going to lay in bed with my smoking hot wife, and I'm going to watch the replay. And I appreciate all you guys, man.
I just want to follow up with that. I appreciate Complete Graphics for putting on the season and helping us with the broadcast and stuff and the sponsorship. And I want to thank American Speed Network for putting on a great show.
You got it, Rob. We certainly appreciate it. Have a good night.
Yep. See you guys.
All right, Russell, there we go, my friend. What a fantastic job by all these drivers. John and Rob for putting on a fantastic series. And man, what more can we say other than thank you very much for tuning in for this entire series. Make sure that you give us a like, give us a subscribe if you have not done that. We certainly would appreciate that. And if you want to race at Free Time Racing, all you got to do is reach out to these gentlemen and they will hook you up.
Absolutely. It's been a lot of fun all season long, calling the races for these guys and being in the booth with you again, John. So everybody that watches, tunes in, week out, we thank you guys for tuning in. Like we said, just if you like what you saw, give us a little sub. We really appreciate it. And we look forward to seeing everybody later on down the road.
All right, we'll talk to everyone soon.